Congratulations to the Cedar Crest Red Wolves senior class. Y'all did it. You graduated. So congrats to the parents as well. But did you guys notice what that did to the housing market here in 98019 Duvall, Washington? Hey friends, Buddy Buck here, back with another episode of Duvall TV. Hey friends and neighbors, welcome back to another episode of Duvall TV. I want to point out something that changed. We kind of did a little edit here on our YouTube channel. So instead of just having the @BuddyBuck YouTube channel, which many of you are following, we want it to be a little bit more targeted and to be able to help you guys out to see the content that you're looking for. So what we did was we split my YouTube channel into two. So starting with this episode right here, Duvall TV will have its own dedicated YouTube channel, and it is @Duvall TV. And the reason why I did this is because for those of us living here in Duvall, maybe you don't want to learn about real estate education and buyers and sellers. That other channel, my @BuddyBuck YouTube channel, is going to be specifically focused on real estate education and building wealth through real estate. The Duvall TV YouTube channel is going to be specific, hyper-local, all things Duvall events, concerts, business spotlights, restaurants, you name it. We're gonna put that all specifically on Duvall TV only. So great news. You can pick one or the other, or you can pick both. So there we go. All right, right off the top, I wanna talk real quickly about the Duvall Police Department, which sometimes people's like, oh my God, that's not usually a good thing. In this case, it's an awesome thing. So something coming up August 1st, it's called National Night Out. So this is America's Night Out Against Crime. This is a nationwide program. You can contact Officer Chandler Dean if you have any questions. His phone number is up on the screen here, and also an email contact in the description below. One other thing I want to note on the Duvall Police Department is Susie Kroll has been on staff now since January. She is a mental health professional. So if you or anybody that you know needs help in that area, please reach out to Susie. Her email is in the description below. All right, let's jump right into upcoming events. We have the Culvert Replacement Project. We mentioned this in the last month's episode. That is the Woodinville Duvall Road closure that's coming up at Northeast 172nd. This is going to be a 30-day closure. So those of you that live in Duvall for any length of time, you understand when one of a couple of ways gets shut down, it really clogs up and congests other areas. So I want to encourage you, so the rest of the month of July and pretty much a good part of August, just plan on leaving a little bit early, taking a different route, and planning ahead. So instead of just being like, oh my God, I can't believe it, the road's closed. We've known this for a while. All right, one of my favorites. Here we go. We are launching. It is now July 11th, recording this. So tomorrow, which by the time this comes out will be a few days ago now, but there is the first concert in Summer Stage. So that starts July 12th and runs all the way to August 16th. It's going to be every single Wednesday. I want to give a shout out to Cass Holderman for really just spearheading this whole project. She's awesome. One of the colleagues of mine. She actually picked all of the bands too. So, you know, I know it's going to rock. So great job, Cass. The links for all these events, by the way, will all be in the description below. Also coming up, Sandblast, July 22nd and 23rd. This is live music, artist booth, sand sculptures, and more at McCormick Park. So it's right on the Snoqualmie River. If you've never been to Duvall, maybe you're like, heard of it, thinking about it, definitely come check out either Summer Stage, come check out one of the concerts, come hit up Sandblast. This is a family-friendly event, and it's a free art festival as well. So sponsored by the Duvall Foundation for the Arts. That is a 2-day event. It begins at noon each day, by the way. And then one of my personal favorites, you know, if you've watched the show, you know this is probably my #1 favorite thing, is the Light Up Duvall fundraiser. We want to keep the lights on Main Street. Why? Because it looks awesome and you like it. You just didn't realize that this maybe has to get funded from somewhere. So we are at 81% of the goal. We were at 57% of our goal last month. We went from $855 to $1,215. The goal to hit this is September 1st. So take a second. If you have to hit pause real quick, go donate to the Light Up Duvall fundraiser. This is an awesome project. It's going to be going year after year after year. So let's just crush this thing out. Now, last I want to mention on events, Duvall's Farmers Market started on May 4th. This is every single Thursday from 3 to 7. So support local, shop local, go check out the Farmers Market. It is awesome and it's going to run all the way through mid-October. All right, let's talk a little bit about restaurants. So the restaurant I'm going to be featuring today is called Amarillo, not Armadillo. If you've been in Duvall for a long time, they are not related to the old Armadillo. The owner is Brian Adams. He is super awesome. My wife Eve and my sister Heather and her husband Tim, we just had an awesome meal there. A week before that, we actually took Jan and Ern Snook, our neighbors, or sad to say, former neighbors. So we've been really enjoying it. Those are our first 2 times there. And it was an awesome experience. So you've got, the whole squad there. You've got Julianne, Mikey, Junior cutting up the meat. Like, thank you, Junior, for really just like educating people. I hear you talking to people behind me and in front of me in line, and Junior's like just breaking it down. Like, what do you get? What type of cuts? Do you want it fatty or not fatty? I want a half-pound beef brisket. Fatty, please. The Texas street corn is a must, in my opinion. And also the spicy campfire beans. So if you like a little bit of spice, they got some brisket in those beans as well. I'm just telling you, the first time we went there, we might have ordered all of the sides, maybe not all of them, but we ordered quite a few just because we wanted to check it out. So go check it out, go support Brian and the whole staff there at Amarillo. You can see the menu here. You can just click right up here on menu and go ahead and check that out. The online ordering will be coming soon. But yeah, the menu's incredible. You got the classic baby back ribs, the biscuit, the pulled pork, the pulled pork, burgers, sandwiches, kids menu. So anyway, check it out. The food's amazing. The people are even better. Okay, now let's head over to the business spotlight of the month. And it is none other than Corey Heston and Heston Door Services. So they got a brand new revamp on their website just a few months ago. Super clean, super awesome. So you can see commercial, residential. They're actually doing custom gates now. So I know a lot of people out here in Duvall or in the surrounding areas have some more like estate style properties, or maybe you're on 5 acres, 10 acres, 20 acres, and you have a custom gate. So you might want that product and service. Definitely hit up Corey. All the information for Heston Door Service is gonna be in the description below. We hired them last summer to do our garage, and we had, new garage doors kind of cut out. If you notice in Duvall, a lot of the garage doors have like these like rounded corners on them, which are just for aesthetics in most cases. So it just like whoever built them thought it looked cool, but really you just can't drive your truck into it. We had our garage doors kind of notched out, and then Corey and his team last summer came in, put in some beautiful insulated doors with windows, like super gorgeous, and on the inside put in what's called a high lift. So we have a taller garage ceiling, and so these garage doors go way up about 14 feet right up against the ceiling. So it just gives us this nice expansive feeling when we're in the garage, which, I guess thanks to COVID, is now a full-blown gym. Thanks, Corey and Heston Door Service. You guys rock. I want to point out that the DuvallLife.com is going to be your go-to #1 resource for the city. So things that are cool, things that are coming up. You can see I put Sandblast, Summer Stage. I'm gonna start editing this and keeping this as current as humanly possible for you to be able to go, hey, I wonder what's going on in Duvall. Guess what? Go to theduvalllife.com and check it out, because it's probably here. So as I'm continually adding content, interviewing you, doing special promos for you, the business owner, like we just did for Duvall Eye Care. So thank you to Dr. Sarah Lowe and Dr. Jed Harrison. We got a special video coming out for them. Stay tuned. It'll be out in the next couple of weeks. After I got done doing the business spotlight for Duvall Eye Care, I decided to go in and get my eyes checked. I know I've got 3 older siblings and my parents, and they all wear glasses. So I know it's probably just a matter of time before, I get the little glasses situation going on. Or I can wear these, or I could wear these, or maybe even these or these. I want to give a couple quick shout outs to some of my clients, Ted and Jess Snook and their family. You can see we just closed on their home here in June. That one closed at $1,070,000. So again, congratulations. I know you were locking it down in Duvall for a very long time. Your parents left Duvall, you left Duvall. So Team Snook, we we will miss both of your families very, very much, but Eve and I were super grateful and thankful that we got to be a part of that process with you guys. So congratulations to the Snooks, and have fun on your next endeavor. Next up, I want to talk a little bit about ringstreetduvall.com. So that was a listing that we just had come on the market here just a few days ago on a Thursday, and within 48 hours, we had 9 showings. We had 9 people through the open house on Saturday, 3 offers. All of them were over list price. We were pending in a couple of days there. So congrats to Corey and Kristen Heston, from Heston Door Service. Put the connection there. Many of you know Corey and Kristen already. Here's what I want to say about Corey and Kristen. When Eve and I were, working with them on, getting prepped for this listing, they are some of the most coachable people that I've ever met. To be able to be coachable on a big decision like this with some of these major things, should we paint? Should we do this? Like, you're selling something that you've turned a house into a home, and it means a lot to you, right? It could be very emotional. It could be a huge part of your life to go, oh my gosh, like this is a huge chapter that's closing, but that means another one's opening up as well, right? Corey and Kristen also closed on their 5-acre home in Duvall. So they sold the home on Ring Street. They moved out just a little bit, kept the Duvall address, kept the Duvall zip code, where they're close to proximity to where they wanted to be, right? They love the city very much. But congratulations to you guys for closing on your new, awesome Rambler on 5 acres. All right, now let's talk about the real estate numbers. What we do every single month is I'm gonna break down the numbers between Duvall for this past month and the month previous. So in this episode, we're gonna cover the numbers from May to June. And so in next month, we'll do June to July and so on and so forth. We're also gonna cover King County. So I wanna give you a hyper-local focus on the real estate market for single family residences only, okay, in this case. And also for King County, some of those cities, Bellevue, Kirkland, Seattle, Redmond, Duvall, Woodinville, you could go look up all the cities in King County, but I wanted to give you also a broader scope so you can see what's happening around us as well. So let's do Duvall really quick. What you're looking at right here is May's numbers. So the biggest jump that I noticed from May to June was the active listings went from 37 to 45, and the new listings went down just a little bit. So the most important thing I want you to focus from May to June is months of inventory. We talk about it a lot. I think it's one of the single most important things to know as a consumer if you're a buyer or a seller. This is the one single thing that you should absolutely have mastered on how this works and why it's important to you. Because when we jumped in May to 2.47 months of inventory, that means if you take the active listings divided by the solds, that is going to give you a number. In this case, if you take 37 divided by 15, that is 2.47. And in June, if you took 45 divided by 29, that'll give you a number of 1.55. Meaning, if no new homes came on the market ever, every single home in Duvall would be sold in 6 weeks. So when we're looking at May, it jumped all the way up to almost 2.5. So there was a big influx of listings. Probably, some of those parents that had seniors that are graduating and they're like, hey, let's get ahead of it. We're gonna stick a sign in the ground in May and get this house sold. Maybe they've got plans as empty nesters to get out of here and go do something else, travel, jump in the RV, whatever the case may be. But now we are back to 1.55 months of inventory for June. That means when those homes came on the market, like I mentioned earlier, buyers take action. When those homes hit the market, the people jumped on them, right? So we went from 15 solds in May to 29 in June. So the homes that came on were getting gobbled up like Pac-Man. People say, is it a buyer's market? Is it a seller's market? Look, just know the numbers. You don't need a term, is it a buyer's or a seller's market? If you've educated yourself, if you're watching this channel and you're learning some of these figures and what they mean to you, then you don't need to ask people. If months of inventory is 1 point anything, or point something, or even 2 point something, to me, that is a seller's market. It is old school supply and demand. If there's less inventory, the demand is going to be up. Therefore, the buyers might pay a little bit more or be a little bit more aggressive in their terms. Maybe they waive the inspection, maybe they don't. Now, let's just jump real quick over to King County and we'll wrap this up. King County has been very consistent over the last 6 months. So I've been tracking this since January 1st, and you can see the months of inventory from 1.16 months of inventory to 1.22. Whoa. I mean, it went way up. No, that is insanely low still. Very low. So it's, again, more actives, but more solds are coming on. So that means there's only about 5 weeks of inventory in all of King County put together. Homes are moving even quicker than in Duvall, Washington. There's the numbers. You can look up these stats, and a lot of times, look, you'll see people post stats and like, oh, look at this stat, and oh, look at this stat. It doesn't matter what the numbers are if you don't know what it means and the story behind the numbers, how it affects you personally. So that's one of the main things on the real estate section of Duvall TV. So it's knowing the numbers, using these numbers to time your strike into the market when you're going to be a buyer or a seller, and then also just continually just educating yourself, moving forward. So when time comes and it's time for you to sell your home, you can just be like chilling and know that your agent's got you covered in good hands. All right, good news. What do you mean good news? Good news. I like good news. You like good news. I think we all like good news. That's why if you want great news or good news, don't watch the news, period. The news is full of junk and crap. So here's what I will tell you. What we're creating on this channel is an area for you to be able to send in your submissions for cool things, for great things, for good news. You know, something happened. I don't care how big or small it is. I want your stories, your submissions, you know, things that you saw a neighbor do. Somebody cut someone's grass for them. I don't know, just something cool. Share the story, and we would love to hear it. And it's very simple. You can submit your stories, either a video, a picture, or text. Just write the story, but send it to goodnews@buddybuck.com, and we will definitely get that featured in a future episode of DTV. As we wrap this up, I just want to mention one thing that I kind of talked about in the beginning of the show. Next month's episode of Duvall TV will have a special feature. I have the privilege to be able to do a one-on-one interview with our very own Chief DeBock. Again, community is so many things, and a big part of that community, fire department, police department, you know, the governing body, all the moving pieces that make a city. And Chief DeBock has been gracious enough to be able to sit down with me, do a one-on-one interview. And I want to give a special shout out too to the communications coordinator, Jason Gren. Thanks for being super cool, Duvall Police Department. I'm really excited to do this interview with you, Chief DeBock. So moving forward, we'll get that video, you know, put into Duvall TV's episode, but then we'll have a little standalone video with just the interview by itself as well. So you can learn more about your community, learn more about your police department, and all the things they're doing and all the ways that they continue to keep us safe and support us month after month, year after year here in Duvall. All right, guys, that's a wrap. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Duvall TV and being the absolute best part of our community, where tractors meet technology, small town, real life. Buddy Buck. Peace.